There are many arguments to be had against feminism. From its logic, presumptions, assertions, the way it views the relationship between men and women, and its outcomes for men, women, and society at large. But feminism has a more fundamental problem, and that at its core, feminism is immoral. And the reason why feminism is immoral is because to become a feminist, you need to become a liar. Most forms of feminism are based around this presumption that men and women are the same, and that they do not have any fundamental differences. Because while there are conservative views that do accept that men and women are equals in the eyes of God, they still believe that they are very much different. And this difference leads to different roles in society, an ideology which is called complementarianism. But feminism, in almost all its forms, rejects the differences between men and women. And it is based on this rejection that they also reject traditional gender roles. Now, there are degrees to how much feminists reject gender differences. On one extreme, we have the pro-transgender and non-binary feminists that believe that men and women are not different, even when it comes to the capacity to give birth. Then we have feminists that say that the difference between men and women's physical strength is a social construct and is caused by boys being encouraged to be physically active. But we also have feminists that agree that men and women have physical differences. But at the end of the day, almost all feminists reject the idea of men and women being different when it comes to mental functions. Well, unless it's when they're claiming that women are actually superior to men. But that's beside the point. So to be a feminist is to deny the differences between men and women. And that's why feminism is based on lies. Because any man or woman who has had interactions with the opposite sex knows fully well how different men and women are, and how these differences are so fundamental and all-encompassing in our daily lives. The only way a person could honestly deny this is if they had almost no actual interactions with the opposite sex throughout their entire lives. And very few people can claim this to be the case for them. To be a feminist is to be aware of the radically different ways men and women function, yet claim that we are the same. And while many feminists or feminist allies just pay lip service to this claim, there are many more so-called true believers of feminism that can only believe in this ideology by lying to themselves. These are the people who have to constantly turn their eyes away from the contradicting evidence and force their minds to filter out facts that clearly point to the differences between men and women. The life of a feminist is a life of constantly lying, both to oneself and to others, and that is why feminism is such an immoral ideology. Because there are few ideologies out there that would require this level of lying and deception. Because even some naive communists can be justified in their beliefs because they lack any real experience with the economy. But how many of us could claim that we lack experience with the opposite sex, when the differences between males and females are so obvious and pervasive that even toddlers shape their lives around these differences? And that's why being an anti-feminist is so liberating. Because while you might face attacks, social rejection, political opposition, and all forms of labeling, at the end of the day, you know that you're describing the world as you see it. You might be called a bigot, a misogynist, a horrible human being, but you won't be called a dishonest person. And at the end of the day, you know that whatever you are, at least you're not a liar. Leave a comment and let us know what you think. Share this video if you liked it, and thank you all for watching. Goodbye.